Bum bum ba dum bum ba. Hello. Sorry I am a couple minutes late. Facebook was doing something screwy. I think Mercury is in retrograde and it wasn't letting me onto my own site or wasn't allowing me to actually post. So we got it straightened out and I am here. My name is Patrick and welcome to our weekly ceremony. So I'm gonna put my phone down. You probably hear it. We got the campfire going on the river, or ambiance, till I can be outside again, the way we started. Almost a year ago, we started doing this. Yeah, almost a year ago. And I started doing it outside on the Cedar River nearby. And then only had to come inside because it was getting dark out earlier and earlier. So I'm looking forward to, within the next month or so, maybe sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll be able to go outside. I'll be doing it live from the river outside. And I got a couple of different things planned too. Like I have, if those that have been following me for a while, there's been a few weeks here and there where I wasn't able to actually smoke the pipe. I was led to I still did the ceremony and put the tobacco into the pipe, but I didn't light it. And so I kept instead of just throwing that tobacco out, I put that into a special little container I've got at home, and I am going to take that tobacco and put it into prayer ties. Take little 1 by 1 inch or 2 by 2 inch pieces of fabric, and you put in a pinch of tobacco, and then you fold the corners up around it and you tie it, and then you keep tying it to the string until you get a whole string of prayer ties, and each one is a little tobacco pouch holding your prayers. And then I'm gonna do a fire ceremony on the river and burn those to release all those prayers. It's kind of like double dipping, I guess. Like I already used the tobacco in ceremony to send prayers, but because it is still unburnt, we can still use it to carry even more prayers. Woohoo! All right, so welcome. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I am Patrick, like I said, and every week we do a sacred pipe ceremony. This is the sacred pipe. You might know it from Hollywood as the peace pipe, but it is a sacred pipe, and it is basically the altar, the traveling altar of the Lakota people. It was given to the Lakota people 19 generations ago by White Buffalo Calf Woman. And Chief Arvel Looking Horse, I believe that's his name, is the keeper of the White Buffalo Calf pipe, the original pipe that White Buffalo Calf Woman brought to them. But it is a sacred tradition. I am very honored to have been called to do this. I myself am not indigenous, but White Buffalo Calf Woman is one of my main spirit guides, spirit teachers, and she basically nudged me in this direction. And this is the most sacred space that I know of, the sacred pipe, smoking the pipe, is the most sacred space that I personally know of from all my many, many years of spiritual exploration and shamanism and everything else. This is the most sacred ceremony, the most sacred space that I know of to send prayers. Because when I do put the pipe together, when I join the divine feminine with the divine masculine, we put it together, and it's the combination of all creation. It's the balance, the dance of the masculine and the feminine, and it basically opens a channel straight to Creator, so that whatever we're thinking, whatever our intentions, whatever we're praying, go with no filters, no blocks, straight to Creator. So it's a very powerful time. And I mentioned it's been almost a year since I started doing this. That seems crazy to me. And I had hoped, I started this when the pandemic started. I started doing it, like I said, outside at the river. And I had hoped that by the time fall and winter had come along, that the pandemic would have been gone. But here we are almost a year later. And so I started doing it on my own, in my own place, or down at the river on my own, as a way to hold space for all of the crazy, crazy things that were going on, the administration of the time, and the pandemic, of course, as a way to hold that frequency of love and light and unity, to see the world through the eyes of spirit, and to see the human race, so being a shaman, the definition of the word shaman is one who sees in the dark, or one of the many definitions. And so my job is to be able to see through the darkness of the various beliefs and tumultuous emotions and everything else to the truth. That's my job. And so by doing the pipe every day, I was basically piercing that veil of darkness and illusion to open that channel for light to come through and to be anchored here, so that others can find their way through it, if that makes sense. So anyway, I was doing that on my own, and I was asking for people to send me their prayers, and I was to offer up during the ceremony. But like I said, this is the most sacred ceremony I know. This is the most sacred space. Direct connection to Creator, to Spirit, and I just kept getting nudged. It's like, I need to share this. And so I started doing it on Facebook, and it took me a little bit. I kept talking to White Buffalo Cathwoman, like, are you sure? Is this really okay? Because it's kind of not traditional to share these things over the internet. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? And she's like, whose idea do you think it was? And so I went ahead. She gave me a special song for my pipe that I will sing later, which was kind of part of it, like when I lead pipe ceremony. It's kind of the power song of my pipe. And that was one of the things that she gave me, that it wasn't like a condition, but just something to share when I'm sharing it, especially over the internet. But I just, like everything I do, especially when I'm teaching classes and such, I always love to have some kind of experiential component to it, because that experience is something that the other person can take away, and like nobody can deny them that experience. It is, an experience, and so you can't It's in you. It's a part of you. And so I just felt like I wanted to share this and allow people to experience the sacredness of this space and that connection to Creator. And just to, with all the crazy things and the pandemic and all the stuff going on in the world, I wanted people to have a place during the week, in the middle of the week, where they could just exhale and just breathe. And, you know, I'm going to call in the spirits in a moment to set the sacred space around us to hold that beautiful frequency of light and love, which protects us from the lower, like once you have that higher frequency, nothing of a lower frequency can pierce that. So we're safe. So we can let down our guard. We can drop our shields and focus on our hearts, focus on our inner work, focus on that connection to Spirit. So that's why I'm here. That's my intention of doing this. And to help empower people to feel that connection themselves rather than, oh yeah, I said those prayers for you. You know, part of the ingredients of prayer is stopping, connecting, and sending prayers. So if I'm praying for you, you're kind of missing out on a big part of that equation. So giving people the opportunity to stop and to breathe and to sit in stillness was very important. So before we go any further, I'm gonna grab my handy dandy drum. We're gonna call in the spirits, basically calling in the 4 elements to hold space around us. And then the spirits of the upper world and the spirits of the lower world. And that's not the spirits of the underworld, it's the spirits of the lower world. If you think of the universe as a tree, you think of the branches as the upper world and the roots as the lower world. The upper and lower world are transcendent realms, meaning that the spirits that live there have to be of a high frequency, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to be there. They're transcendent. And then I call in the compassionate spirits of the middle world. And I specifically use the word compassionate because we want only those spirits. The middle world is where we are. That's the trunk of the tree. And that's the only place where we have duality, where you can have lower vibration spirits mixing with higher vibration spirits. And so kind of like, we don't want to do like a Ouija board thing where you just open up and whoever's there comes in. We are setting intention to connect to Creator, to send our prayers and our intentions. So we want only the highest vibrational beings. So by putting that word compassionate in front of the sentence, that sets our intention, and it invites only the compassionate spirits. You know, I also like to think, one of the things I say sometimes is only love gets in, only love is invited. And so then we have the elements holding us horizontally, we have the upper world, lower world spirits holding us vertically, and then we have the compassionate spirits of the middle world, all our relations like a band around us, holding us in their love. So that is my explanation for that, and this is what it looks like. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, love in your life. Oh. Whew. Do you feel that? I always forget to tell people it's amazing how different the energy feels before and after doing that. And I always forget to tell people to check in with the energy before and then to compare it to how it feels afterwards. But it always feels so much better afterwards. So, I apologize if I'm like extra tired tonight. I've had kind of an adventurous few days, to say the least. And I'm gonna do something a little bit different tonight. I found out last night, or the night before, well, I guess it was 2 nights ago, I found out that one of my favorite teachers, not someone that I've ever met in person, but someone that I have looked up to for years and years, that I've read her books, and she's basically been a teacher and an authority to me, like someone I looked toward to help me find my way, to find my center. And she is also, her name is Jaimie Sams. And she is the one that created, if any of you have ever had readings with me, with the medicine cards, these beautiful cards that have the different animals on them that I do readings with. She is the one who created these, and so she has had a tremendous influence on my life. I mean, partially, like, this is partially how I make my living now. And she was, I forget what lineages, but she was, I believe, Cherokee and something else, but she was indigenous. She was raised indigenous. She became a great teacher to all people, teaching the ways of the native ways, the Red Road, and all of that to anyone who would listen, to anyone who wanted to learn. And so I thought what I would do in order to honor her memory, I just felt her come in. She's here. I did, in my pipe ceremony last night, I connected with her, and I just wanted to thank her for such the influence that she had on my life, and how sorry I was that I didn't get to meet her in person. I was hoping to at some point be able to take a class from her, or meet her, or talk to her, or something. And before I could actually get all that out, she was basically sitting in front of me, and she had it was like a blanket or clothes that were just this gold, and it was flowing gold, and she had feathers everywhere. And this is one of those things that's hard to share because it sounds really convenient, and it can sound totally like coming from ego, like, oh yeah, I'm important. But before I could actually get out all my gratitude to her and say everything I wanted to, she stopped me. She's like, no, my dear brother, I know who you are. And I'm gonna try to get through this without crying. I cried so hard last night. And part of me is like, oh, that's just way too convenient. No, you why would you know who I am? And she said that there was a reason that I've been drawn to her teachings and to her words and her ways, that is the way the universe works. It's the law of attraction. It's the law of resonance. And the fact that I resonate with her teachings means that we have always been connected. And so in spirit, because of that connection, she was like, I know who you are. And I just was dumbfounded, like, really? And she was like, yeah. And she was thanking me for the work I do, for the light I am spreading, for the presence in the world that I am. And seeing that's like, it sounds like, yeah, like spirits are on my side. And it can sound like bragging, but that is not where this is coming from. It's coming from a place, a humble, very humble place. Like, you never realize, and this, I'm not just saying this for me, I'm saying this to all of you, you never realize how important you are until you get that kind of feedback, and you realize that everything you do, everything you learn, everything you put out into the world affects every part of the world. And it was just so humbling to me. And I kept feeling like I need to say something more. I need to say something more. And we're just sitting there in silence. And I told her, it's like, I feel like there's something else I should say or do for you. And she looked at me, she said, no, your presence is enough. And she repeated that a couple of times because I wanted to jump in and say something. I was like, no, your presence is enough. And so I got to sit in silence across my altar with my pipe, with one of the people that I most admire in the world. And yeah, I just wept my eyes out. So that was my experience with her last night, and it was such an honor to be able to connect with her and to get that validation that, you know, you always kind of wonder if what you're doing is having an effect. You always wonder if you're doing the right thing, all of that kind of stuff. And so it was very welcome feedback and validation that what I'm doing does have an effect, and that even not just what I'm doing, but just the presence, being present in the world makes a difference. And like I said, that's not just for me, that's for you as well. Just your presence here in the world is so important. You have no idea how much of an effect you have, that ripple effect that goes out and touches everybody, all living things. So, to start out tonight's ceremony, I wanted to read something that she wrote, something that has been on my mind a lot, especially I've number one, being a shaman, number two, being a non-indigenous pipe carrier. Especially this past year, there's been a lot of talk about cultural appropriation and stealing different people's cultures and religions and stuff like that. So that is something that I have wrestled with for a long time. And actually, it just came up today with someone, a Facebook friend posted something that kind of triggered me too. And this is one of the instances where I always look back to her for strength, it's kind of what I call a golden lasso moment for me, like being a cartoonist as well. Wonder Woman is probably my favorite superhero. Well, unless you count Xena as a superhero. But Wonder Woman, there's a comic where she actually takes her lasso of truth and she puts it around her own neck to check her authenticity. You know, her lasso It's the lasso of truth, and you are compelled to tell the truth when you are have that around you or touching you in some way. So she would actually put the lasso on herself to check her own authenticity, to make sure that what she was doing was from the right place and with the right intentions. And so this Jaimie Sams kind of helps me with those moments. And so this is something she wrote. This is another deck of cards that she created. They're called the Sacred Path cards. I'm going to read that. Another excellent deck of cards. And in the book, one of the cards is the Whirling Rainbow. And so I wanted to read what she said, because this is something I go back to time and time again. This is just, I think, just an excerpt of what she says here, but it's about the Whirling Rainbow prophecies. So this is what Jaimie Sams wrote. When I lived in Mexico and worked with the grandmothers, the Dreamtime Buffalo Society or Sisterhood had many prophecies derived from seers and dreamers that had come down through the ages. The prophecy of the whirling rainbow was very specific. When the time of the white buffalo approaches, the third generation of the white-eyed children will grow their hair and speak of love as the healer of the children of the earth. These children will seek new ways of understanding themselves and others. They will wear feathers and beads and paint their faces. They will seek the elders of the red race and drink of their wisdom. These white-eyed children will be a sign that the ancestors are returning in white bodies, but they are red on the inside. They will learn to walk the Earth Mother in balance again and reform the ideas of the white chiefs. These children will be tested as they were when they were red ancestors by unnatural substances like firewater to see if they can remain on the sacred path. The generation of flower children have moved through this part of the prophecy, and some have remained on the sacred path. Others were lost for a while and are now returning to the natural way of being. Some were disillusioned and have forgotten the high ideals that gave them life when their hearts were young, but others still are waking up and quickening into the remembering. Mother Sissy would look at me with her obsidian eyes piercing my soul when she spoke of the whirling rainbow prophecy, and I would feel my heart skip a beat and then fill with promise and love. She would tell me about the return of the buffalo to Turtle Island and how the herds would once again be numerous. After the time when the buffalo returned, the generation following the flower children would see the dawning of the fifth world of peace. Grandmother Sissy called the beginning of this fifth world the wobbly pony that on being born would try to use its legs. She said that the wobble would be felt by the Earth Mother and changes would occur in the soil and waters. Inside the children of Earth, the wobble would create rolling emotions and feelings that would bring the quickening and the remembering. Colorful dreams would be brought into the sleep time and dreamtime dreams of these newborn warriors of the rainbow, and they would begin to learn how to walk in balance. The changes in our Earth Mother would create fear in her children, which would later lead to the understanding and unity of one planet, one people. So I could go on and on and on, but I just wanted to share that. And in the spirit of her teachings, I thought I would pull a medicine card for tonight, for this week, till we meet again next week. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I pulled the moose card. If you've had a reading with me, or if you've been watching Monday nights, I do a little miniature reading on the Facebook Live. Moose comes up over and over. Moose, the other night, he came up again, and I was like, okay, the house favorite, Moose. But what Moose medicine is about accepting yourself, accepting all those things that make you stick out, that make you different, because it's those things that are unique to you that you came to share with the planet, with humanity. I like to use the word majestic dorkiness when it comes to moose. It's about whatever you're passionate about, no matter how dorky or geeky it is, to allow that to be seen, to be felt. Follow your passion, because, like I said, that is the gift you came here to give to the world. And if you're sticking out and you're different from the world, that means you came to change the world. And your purpose, people always looking, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? Your purpose is within you. It's not something that's been assigned to you by some deity out in the clouds somewhere. Your purpose is whatever your passion is. It's that simple. Whatever brings you passion, whatever makes your heart sing, that is your gift to the world. All right? Thank you, Jaimie. Thank you. All right, so moving on. If you're new here, if you haven't been to a pipe ceremony before, like I mentioned earlier, this is the pipe. This is the sacred pipe given to the Lakota people from, White Buffalo Calf Woman. And this is the divine feminine, the bowl is the feminine, the stem is the divine masculine. And so when we join them together, it becomes all of creation, becomes balance, the seen, the unseen, the dark and the light, everything. And so, like I said earlier, that opens a channel of prayer straight to Creator. So when I do join it together, pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to your prayers, pray your biggest and best prayers. Nothing is too big or out there to pray for, because if you have the desire in your heart, that itself proves that there is a fulfillment for that desire, because you couldn't feel that if it didn't exist. I will say a prayer, I will join the pipe together, then I will put 4 pinches of tobacco into the bowl, and you will hear the prayers when I'm doing that. And then I will sing the song that I mentioned earlier that White Buffalo Calf Woman gave to me. And then I will, and when you see me doing, you'll see me do this a lot, and that's honoring the spiral of life, and then resting the bowl on the Earth Mother. I do that each time before I light the pipe. But so I will do that, I will light the pipe, and then I will do a breath blessing basically in the 7 directions. Kind of like when I drummed in the spirits, basically in all those same directions. And then 1 straight to Creator, and then I will say a silent prayer as I put the stem to my forehead and the bowl to my heart. And then I will come back and relight the pipe if I need to, and then I will take a big puff and I will blow it straight at my phone, at my camera, and through the magic of the holographic universe and the magic of the internet, that blessing will go straight from my heart to your heart. And then I will continue to blow breath blessings, blow prayers, intermittently, sitting in silence with the pipe on my lap. And then when it's done, when it feels complete, I will say another prayer, and there'll be another song as I bring the pipe apart, and then that will be the end of our ceremony. Then I'll probably babble on a little bit longer, and then we'll release the spirits. But so this is totally non-denominational. You're welcome to pray or chant or sing or meditate or whatever it is you do to connect to spirit. This is about aligning to spirit. And so whatever you do to do that is welcome here. This is our circle right now. And when I set sacred space, I include you. If you're watching this, you are in the circle that I have set. Where was I going? So feel free to do whatever it is that you do to connect to spirit. So the first thing I do is light some sage and smudge all the things on my little altar. You can't see my altar because it's right here. I'm going to light some sage and smudge everything, including the pipe. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. Oh. All right. That song doesn't have a lot of places to breathe in it, so I always giggle when I run out of breath. All right, so here we go, my friends. Thank you again for joining me. Grandmother, grandfather eagle, I send a voice. I ask permission to smoke at this time in this place. All my guides and guardians, watch over me as I smoke. Creator, Earth Mother, Tawabin, Shaunadisi, Magikiwas, and Waboose. There was always room for you in my pipe. Creator, Earth Mother, for the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the crawlers and the swimmers, all my relations, come smoke with me. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Ocean, to the energy of birth, growth, maturity, the spirit realm and our ancestors, may all the passages of our lives be in harmony and grace. Creator, Earth Mother, to eagle, coyote, bear, white buffalo calf woman, bringer of the pipe and the law of good relations to the people. Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane. Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane. Yo. Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane. Yo. grandmother, grandfather, eagle, I send a voice. I thank you for our lives. I thank you for this circle. I thank you for the guidance of those who light the world before us and for those who follow us in our light. Guide us. Thank you for your love, even when we feel we don't deserve it. Thank you for your light, even when we can't see it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I-hi-la-i-hi-o. 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 I-hi, I-hi, I-hi-la-i-hi-o. 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 I-hi. Oh. That is the pipe ceremony. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's a little bit different tonight than normal. Normal, as if there is a normal. But I so appreciate your presence here. I can feel it. That connection we share, the light we send out into the world makes a huge difference. So, again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Know that, I was like, trying to remember, like, I know there's more for me to say, but I always like to remind you that I am here to support you. I am your friendly neighborhood shaman, and my job is to support you, to empower you, to help you find your way, your heart, your light, your passion. And so whatever I can do to do that, please feel free to reach out to me. You can check out my website at perchingwolfstudios.net and see all the different shamanic services I offer. One of the main things I do are soul retrievals, and now especially that we can breathe again with a new administration, at least here in the States. The last 4 years have been a great dark night of the soul for the world, and we are still going through that, but some of the healing has begun. And when we experience the kind of trauma that we experienced over the last 4 years, constantly having to be tight, have our defenses up, never knowing what's going to happen next, when we live that tightly and that, like, basically in fear and worry and that kind of thing, when we have trauma, part of our soul goes off. In shamanism, we call it soul loss. In Western terms, it's called dissociation, where pieces of us go off in order to protect themselves. And in a perfect world, once the trauma has passed, and it's healthy to do so, that part of your psyche comes back and reconnects. But especially over the past 4 years when there was no letting up, a lot of us have experienced that soul loss. If you feel like different in a bad way, different since then, like you're not yourself anymore, or kind of like PTSD feelings and depression and all that, that might be a sign that part of your soul has gone off. And one of the things that I do is called soul retrieval. It's an ancient shamanic ceremony, and I have a specific spirit guide who helps me to go out and find those soul parts for people and bring them back, and then I actually blow them into your heart chakra and into your crown chakra in order to realign you, to reconnect you with those parts that have gotten so scattered. And the purpose is, again, to empower you, to help you be more whole, to fill in those spaces where those parts have left. So, and along with that, I just did this on myself last night, which is a whole nother reason I'm feeling kind of worn out, wiped out today in a good way. I also do what's called fairy doctoring, where sometimes when those parts go off, the fairies, their job is to balance the energy between our world and their world, between the seen and the unseen. And so sometimes, in a way to balance those energies, if somebody has a soul part that goes off, they might take that soul part into the fairy realm, and then they actually nurture that soul part, and they teach that soul part. And so, and I do this in conjunction with soul retrieval, but sometimes those soul parts are in the fairy realm, and so I have special fairy fairy liaison that goes to find out, and I can bring those parts back from the fairy realm back and give them back to you, reconnect them to you. So it is a really powerful, it can be like instantaneous, like woohoo, or it can be subtle. I have people coming back years later telling me, you won't believe what just happened, as the process has continued on. So if that resonates with you, if that's something that you feel you might need, feel free to contact me, ask questions, see if it resonates or whatever. But that, I think, is a big thing I'm going to be doing a lot of coming up because of the last 4 years that we had. So I just want, not trying to like captive audience, I'm going to advertise myself, but I just want people to know that that is available, because in our Western society, that is not a thing. There's nothing like that, and so people don't realize that that is a possibility. So just to let you know that that is available, and I would be honored to help you with that. Or if you just want a card reading for basic guidance, or just to talk to a shaman and get a shamanic perspective, I'm here to support you. So let me know. And with that, I think we will close the circle, because I think I need to go home and go to bed. So thank you again so much for joining me. I hope this is one of the highlights of my week, and I know I get so much out of this. And like I said, I started doing this on my own, and I would be doing this whether anybody was watching or not. So your presence here is like frosting. It's like, and I'm so grateful for your presence here, because the more of us that come together and connect and hold that intention for a better world, for a more loving world, for a world built on abundance and respect and honor, the more powerful we all become. So let me release those spirits who have so lovingly held space for us. I got some tobacco in my teeth. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, friends. Whoops. Got the low battery message on my phone. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate your presence here, joining me in prayer and intention. So join me next week. Invite your friends. Feel free to share this video with others, and I will post it to my Facebook page and to my YouTube channel. So you can watch it again as many times as you need if it feels good to you. You need a little boost. But then I will return next week, and I will see you here next week. And also on Monday nights, if you're free, I do the little miniature readings with the medicine cards. I pull 3 cards, and you choose a number 1 through 3, and then I tell you what each of the cards means. So join me then or next week, but until I see you again, know that I love you and that I see you and that I honor you. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. Enjoy yourself. Follow those passions. Be the majestic dork and live your truth. All right? So until the next time I see you, go shining. All right, bye.